Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night, TGIF. Just let the Foz out for his last little pee and poo in the night. And thought I'd come down and talk about a certain model of chainsaw that I just acquired or know about. The 42 Special. Husqvarna 42 Special was probably the most powerful 50cc saw in its years, okay? I have a real cherry one that I've had that I scored at work years ago. I don't know why it was getting put into the boneyard, but it was, and I brought it home. I believe I put a carb kit in it, and that's all it needed. And it was something else, but it was a while ago now. So I have that one here. Then I have another one I just acquired yesterday from the Walker Saw Shop. It was also in the boneyard. And this saw, I remember selling it to the fella. He was actually my dentist. My, what do you call the guy that does braces and stuff? Orthodontist or something like that? Anyways, he's taken care of me and my teeth for years. And I sold him this new saw. I don't know when. This one's actually a 1992 saw. They made the Husqvarna 42s from 1988 to 1995. This one is a 1992. And the other one I have right here is a 94. 94? Yeah, it's a 94. Look at it. Hardly any blemishes on the crank. I'm missing the side cover for this, and I asked a while ago if anyone had one, but I'll eventually find one. But when I seen this one, I'm like, bonus, there's all the stuff I need. Let's see what's wrong with it. So I brought it home too. So this one, perfect runner. It's all stock. I might sell it off. See how it goes. Actually, probably not. I got to keep one of them for sure. So let's check out this one. I've taken the muffler off already just because it was in the boneyard. You know, we call it the boneyard because they're normally junk. But I look there every time I go down there and take stuff if they're just going to throw it out. No use sending this to the landfill. Good parts on it and stuff like that. They just don't have time to deal with it all. So here we go. I've already taken the muffler off. I was feeling it for compression. This one does not have a compression release, where the 94 one I have actually has a compression release. Kind of unusual. Anyways, it's got a fairly new bar and chain on it. 72 drivers, so it's a 18-inch 325. Let's pull the bar and chain off it and check a few things out on it. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. The piston on here is actually perfect. It's got a little line on it, and I'm just going to zoom you in and show you that. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's got a little line on the flywheel side, okay? I don't know if you can quite see that, but yeah. Anyways, most time if a saw has been overheated or ran hot or lean, they usually score on the exhaust on the clutch side, because that's your most hottest part of the cylinder, right? Because your fan's on this side blowing cold air or normal air across the cylinder on the fins to cool it properly. So most saws, if they're scored, will always start on the clutch side first and work its way over if it's been really damaged, right? So let's just pull the bar and chain off this now and just kind of have a physical look at what I can see actually is wrong with it. Chain seems sharp. It's very sharp. Bar looks in great shape. So we'll get the bar and chain off. Hey, Fuzz. Fuzz just came in. Have a look at the clutch. Have a look at a few things. Chain brake is all in good condition, looks like. The band's still there. Yep, still works. Nothing wrong with that. Let's put our bolt away there. Put our side cover away over here. Get the bar and chain off. It's got a rim type sprocket on this one, which is a bonus. That's better than the old spur type sprocket that you can't change, right? You have to change the whole clutch drum. Husqvarna clutch drums are really, almost really last the life of a saw, right? You never really have to change them much. I can tell this one's got a little more wear than my other one. The chain's been rubbing here a few times. It's missing the rub guide here for the chain. but the clutch itself looks fine. So let's check everything else out. Like I say, it's got a little line on the piston, but I think that's just from a piece of carbon. Oh, throttle doesn't work. So let's take the top cover off and have a look at that. These are great little saws. Like I say, they rev like crazy. You really had to adjust the carburetor right. For a consumer, they weren't that great because they did rev really high. So if a guy was not mixing his fuel right, or had old fuel or a dull chain, you could seize these pretty easy and score the piston. Foz, you gonna sit there making a bunch of noise when I'm doing a video? Come on, bud. You go back outside. Then I'll come and put you inside, okay? Come on, bud. Hang on. I'll see you in a minute. Sorry about that. You know, dogs are our best friends, right? Okay, take the top cover off, then I'm going to show you a couple unique things on this saw. Very well built, these. Very well built. Okay, big filter on it, eh? For that size of saw, look at the size of this thing. It's a flock filter. And like I said in a previous video today, flock filters like this, the furry type ones, on Stihl or Husqvarna or other brands, the best way to clean these is with hot soap and water in your sink. Just don't let your wife catch you. Rinse it out with hot water and let it dry. Don't ever put oil on this fabric because it'll clog it and it'll make it run rich, okay? And don't wash it out with gas and oil. A lot of old loggers would clean their filters with gas and oil on nylon ones and stuff, which works fine. But on this flock material, the oil will stay on it and it'll make it run rich as well. Especially if you don't have a carburetor compensator or, you know, the newer style stuff. So it looks pretty clean in here. We'll clean that filter later. But that's what I actually wanted to talk about. A lot of times I've had new mechanics and rookie mechanics. And I say to them, hey, did you check the air filter on that saw? The air filters, I mean. Air filters. So you're like, what do you mean air filters? There's only an air filter on it. I don't know, there isn't. These actually saws have a pre-filter. And a lot of people don't understand that or even know that. So right on the side here above the gas cap, there's a flathead screw here. You take this out. Let's put this filter away right now. We're going to clean it later. You can put them in your dishwasher, actually. But then let them dry out. So yeah, see that? Taking that side square piece off here. And sure enough, there's a pre-filter. It's a fine mesh screen, and it's about 3/4 plugged. You know, it's not that bad, but, you know, it's going to restrict, eh? Because you got to think about it. These little saws in Europe and other countries where they don't run long bars, they got little trees and stuff. These were professional saws, right? This is what they would use for falling in Europe, like in Sweden and stuff. And over here too, in small, conditions like tree work and stuff like that. So if you notice on the side here, yeah, here's your pre-filter. Here's your 2 air holes. That's how all the air gets into this air box. Then through the next main filter, then to your motor, right? Okay. So yeah, the throttle wasn't working on this thing. But now it seems to be after I've kind of moved it around. So maybe there was just something corroded in here, okay? So I don't know why this thing got condemned. Maybe he had some issues with it. I fixed this thing a few times and tuned it up for the customer. So I really don't know why they condemned it. Let's just, you know what? Why don't we try to actually start this thing? Okay? I always like to start things, to diagnose things properly. A lot of mechanics out there these days, they're like, they just read a service order, oh, won't start or dying out, so they just start changing parts on it. They don't try to start it and understand why it doesn't start. You have to have compression, spark, and fuel. So already I know I got a decent enough compression, but we're going to measure it anyways just to compare. Earlier I did a video today on a little 36 Husky, a friend of mine's that I tuned up, and it had 120 pounds compression on a little Poulan Husqvarna. Let's check this one now. Plug to me looks like it was running, not bad. It's got some brown tan to it, so that's not bad. But let's just see what it has, just for curiosity's sakes. I know when the piston's not completely scored or the ring isn't stuck, that most chainsaws will still run. They might not have the proper power, but they'll still run. Okay, come on. Wind in there. Not screwing in there very good. Come on. There we go. Okay, I used an Echo Shindawa compression tester. It seems to work good for me. $110. Let's try it a little bit more. Yeah, I got 110. That would run at that. It's usually around 100 or less. Things won't run too well, okay? Make sure it's got the right spark plug in it. BFAMR 8Y. Nothing wrong with that. Put that back in. We know the throttle's moving. Oh. Even Donnie makes mistakes. Let's check it for spark. Okay, these have a 2-piece coil. They have a red wire here that goes to the secondary coil from the primary. And sometimes these red wires, like 288 saws, this wire would come loose or get broken. So you always want to check this red wire plus your switch wire to make sure it's not arcing out somewhere and the switch is actually working properly, because you can lose spark that way too. So we're going to do the old plug on top of the cylinder test just to check. Lots of spark. Some of the newer saws you need to use the inline spark tester with the plug-in to make sure it's got proper spark. And it should jump a certain gap, like 5mm, 6mm on those type of ones you can dial in. I'll show you that another time. So let's just get this happening now. Let's check if it's got some fuel in it. Wow, it does. Doesn't smell bad. It's kind of red looking. Let's see if it'll start. Hey, because you know what? I'm going to fix this sucker up. I might even sell it or keep it. So, muffler's off. It's going to be quite loud, so let's try it out. Shelly's not home, by the way. That's why I'm down here on a Friday night, because she's in Mexico with her mom. They'll be home tomorrow night real late. So let's try it out. Aha. Okay. That started up. The choke went flying. So we know this motor runs, obviously, right? Makes noise, and a lot of noise. So I would say it's got a little bit of carb restriction to it. So what I would do with this now is go through the fuel system, right from the fuel filter to the carburetor, check my gaskets, maybe do a leak down test on it, but I doubt it got any leaking seals. These things were pretty bulletproof. Just a great little saw though, so just remember, pre-filter and main filter. A lot of people don't know about those pre-filters, and they scratch their heads when they're trying to tune them up. They go run them again, and they're like running so rich and no power because this filter is plugged on that side. But these are great saws. They're quite collectible. So yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Probably hang her on the shelf with all my other ones back there, eh? Anyways, it's Friday night. I'm going to go back up now and watch a little TV and relax. I've been doing a bunch of laundry today and getting the house cleaned up, so when Shelly comes home and doesn't get all upset at Donnie for making a mess. So keep your saw into it, stick in the ice, rubbing the road. Enjoy your Friday night. Tomorrow night, Saturday Night Fever. Go out to the disco or watch Saturday Night Live. Have a great day. Thanks for watching my channel. Love you all out there. Everyone in North America. Have a good day.